Fancy saying, y'all, it's been a while, huh? Where y'all been at?
Are you cold now?
Oh, I just got out from practice. It's
Do
a
you
little
have
chilly
any
out there.
special things to keep warm that you do that you like? Scuba suit or, I don't know, icy hat or anything like that?
Nah, I don't do none of that. I just go out there and hoop. I don't be worried about it. It's going to be cold for us and be cold for them. You do your best to prepare for it, but I don't care what anybody says. If they say they like the cold, they're lying. And you just got to deal with it. Yeah.
Stefon, when you say, get me the ball, can you take us into
You heard
that?
me say that?
What are you talking about? What's it, what's going through your mind, kind of like, what's that all about for you in that moment, wanting the ball?
You know what I'm saying? When did you hear me say that?
Apparently, Laura Oakman said that you turned around and said it, and people heard it on the broadcast, and she heard you say that. So I'll explain why. I do a radio show, and people call and say, when he says that, is he complaining to Josh? And I don't think so. He's competitive. But if you could explain it to the fans and what you're saying.
I mean, in perspective, I feel like the position I play is as a receiver, you want the ball. I mean, I'll be more worried if a receiver didn't want the ball in comparison to a guy that does want the ball. But I mean, I feel like I want to win. You know, anybody who know me, they know I want to win, and I want to play at a high level. I want us playing at a high level. I never looked at it as a thing that's selfish. I hope people don't think that. But like, I mean, if you gauge me as a player, if you know me personally, or you know me, or you see me, how I work and how I approach my job, you know I respect this game to its fullest. So what I mean by that is what I say. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in those situations, I want to provide a spark for my team. I want us to, stay in the green area, you know what I'm saying, and be making plays at a high level. We got a lot of guys that can do that. But when I say that, that's more so a piece of me trying to get it going, and trying to stay in the right mind frame and stay on schedule. So, I mean, I got big shoulders. I could take it. You know what I'm saying?
In the same way, Steph, you did throw your helmet against something on the bench.
Yeah.
Yet after the game, you were the first guy out there on the field doing the snow angels sliding.
Yeah.
So, what was it like going from that emotion to the latter emotion?
I mean, I don't look at it as like that. I mean, I feel like out of frustration, I mean, if I was in the office, I would break my pencil. I play a contact sport. I use my helmet. I mean, that's the only object I have in my hand. I mean, we have experiences, or you have, I guess players anywhere, whatever you have. A lot of people do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to my helmet, I mean, that's the only thing in my hand when it's frustration. I mean, next time I'll do something else. But, I look at it as at the end of the day, we win the game. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? T-Bag's kicking it right down the middle. You cannot be happy about that. As far as like being frustrated throughout the game has ebbs and flows, and you try not to ride a roller coaster. But that a game like that, even that game had a roller coaster in it. They were up, we were down. You know what I'm saying? So trying to get back in it and try to fight back in it. I mean, I feel like I'm an emotional player, but I try not to make it so it's detrimental to my team. I mean, if I could slam something on the sideline, I feel like it's warranted. I feel like I can. I'm saying it's different. It's coming from a place of either we're not doing what we're supposed to do, or I want to do better. So I mean, I don't look at it no way.
Steph, Saturday before the game, you were able to shed some light and spread some Christmas cheer to little Eddie.
Oh, there we go. Something good.
Care to talk about how that was advised there.
I mean, you had a lot to do with that as far as like with the gifting process, and I feel like it was something that. Just throughout this season, he's been a somewhat of a big part of this whole thing, especially considering his story. I wasn't fully aware about it. You know how things just happen organically and they kind of fall into your lap. So something that I will forever go out my way and make sure I say what's up to him, make sure I holler at him because we've experienced something of the same, and I know how traumatic it can be as a child. So. Something spreading love, and it's the holiday season, so why not, send some love and give some love back. So it's definitely something that makes me smile, alongside of T-Bass kicking a great field goal.
To follow up on that, obviously you've worked with different areas in the community giving back, but you mentioned it some. What is it so specific about someone like Aiden where you can have that conversation about, I know what you're going through?
Well, it's not really like that because, he's still a child, you know what I'm saying? It's different. I mean, I've experienced it at a little older level, but when as far as like what you feeling is what you feeling. I know, like, what I'm saying, it's hard to lose your dad, and as a kid you probably really don't really understand it. So I'm not really in that household, so I can't have no in-depth conversation with him. But what I can do is offer some light to him, offer some love to him, in a time like this, especially because it's so early. I'm saying the more people that you can put around him and gravitate to him and give him some love, maybe it'll be easier for him. So for me, I try not to get too personal, what I'm saying, even though that's such a personal moment. But I try not to go in the household or anything like that, because like I feel like, what I'm saying, it is a little bit private too. So, what I'm saying, the more love you can give without being intrusive, I guess.
How important is it that so many guys, especially like in the Miami game, are able to get involved in the offense, and that Josh is really distributing and dishing it out to a bunch of guys? What does that do for the offense?
I mean, it looks good as far as going into the playoffs and where we at right now. It gives you multiple ways to win. You know what I'm saying? Right now, when it's I guess 1 degree or whatever degrees outside, you're not one-dimensional where you're forced to throw the ball, you're forced to run the ball. Like, you can win it many different ways, and I feel like I saw a video that, I don't know, somebody had said this offense wasn't looking good enough to win in the playoffs. But right now we playing some great football. You know what I'm saying? You can't count on inclement weather. You can't count on it. We finding ways to win. As you finding ways to win, it's hard to win in this league. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you find ways to win, that's a winning team. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day. So as far as like offensively, everybody knows what we're capable of, and the fact that we can play left-handed or trying to learn how to play left-handed and play left-handed well, I feel like that helps us. That gives us advantage.
In that sense, how encouraging is it to know that a year ago this team was being questioned about can't win in close games? You're 0-6 in the playoffs. This year you're 6-3 with 4 wins that have been decided in the last 64 seconds. What does that say to this team, and how encouraging might that be?
It's not. I don't know, because it's kind of like it's in a different space. Like last year was last year. I always say that as far as like with the new year. Like people, if you ask anybody right now, like last year isn't something that you like think about. Like, oh well, last year, nah. Like this is a brand new year, and I feel like experience. We got more experience now. Like even earlier in the season, we lost some games at the end of the year too. Those close games. So it's like having that experience and being there before. This is somewhat of the same team, but I feel like that takes you a long way, especially with the experience that we have. Like it'll give you confidence when you do win those games. It is a snowball effect, but each game is different. Even last game, we were down. We found a way to triumph at the end. That's the story you always want, even though it doesn't always happen that way. But it also gives you something to hang your hat on when details come around. When it's at the end of the game, how sharp you can be. Like even the game versus Detroit, like I take it back to earlier in the season. When the sharper you are, the later, the more carryover it'll have. Like, okay, we've been in this situation before. We've been in a similar situation. Like, what do we have to do to execute at a high level to win this game? So, every season is a new season.
Jeff, what makes Coach McDermott such a player's coach?
Oh, yeah. I'll say he cares. I wouldn't say that about a lot of coaches, but I feel like the coaches on our staff actually do care. Like, I feel like when I got to Buffalo, it's like, it's not a lot to do here. Some great people, family environment, a family town, football town. So the people here, you hold close to them, and it kind of starts with the in-house. And I feel like he cares, like, especially when you're dealing with a lot of different personalities. Me personally, I have a big personality, as we all know. And I feel like part of my craziness, he understands that. I am a passionate player. He tries to keep my head on straight the whole time, as far as like focusing on the details. And as far as like you can be as frustrated as you want, as long as you're taking it out on the field the right way. So I just feel like I tip my hat off to him as far as like, I can't imagine how hard it is to be a head coach and have this many personalities. It's like having 60 kids, trying to make them all, do the right things at the right time and, play well and keep their head on straight. So I tip my hat out to him. I would say it makes him a player coach because he does care, and he takes the time out to be like, look, what can we do to be better? He kind of teaches you the way of life through football as well. The fundamentals, just the little things, stuff that we've been. As a parent, anybody who's a parent here, you try to teach your kids early. So I feel like he does a great job at it. And we grown men too, so he treats us like grown men.
I've seen you guys out at the Syracuse game last night.
Oh yeah.
What's the biggest difference with Josh, like in the huddle versus like at a game as a family?
Nothing. I feel like he's the same person. He's a little more crazier when the whistle blow, but kicking it. He's just a cool guy. Like, in the huddle, he's just a little bit more serious. You guys see that look in his eye. But when we chilling, we just chilling. He's just like one of the boys. You know what I'm saying? I always looked at him as one of the boys, like a big kid. Thank y'all. Thank you.